The VLOOKUP functions allows you to look up information from a table of data. Now, you will learn how to find and activate the function. Use the function to find an approximate match. First, how to find an approximate match. What you have here are student numbers and a result from a test. And what you're like is put a symbol that relates that result. We have symbol table here which indicate what score and generate to what symbols. Click on a cell. Activate the function wizard. Select the category Lookup and Reference. Select the function VLOOKUP and press OK. We will fill in the criteria. The first one that we will fill in is the lookup value. As you see here is the lookup value to be found in the first table, which will be here. So in this case, we will look up this value. The table array is a table of text, number, or logical values in which data is retrieved. So we will highlight this section to here. Now, we will put a $sign for making it absolute. The next criteria is the column index number. This is column 1, 2, 3, and etc. In this case, we wanted to put number 2. The last criteria is what you want. It is an approximate match. Because of the nature of this information, the result could be anything. It could be any numbers. So we will put true. And when we press OK, you will see the symbol. You can see the symbol pulled through. So we can copy and paste this so that automatically pulls through the relevant information.
The ability to look up information in Excel is generally performed by using one of the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, or lookup functions. What people don't realize is the risk that they take depending on how they use those functions. In this example, what you've got here is a table with a number of reference alphanumeric cells. For ease of comparison, I've made the information to be looked up exactly the same. So, if I want to see the answer for A2, it must bring back A2. If I want to see the answer for A21, it must bring back A21. Over here, you have the cell which specifies what number I'm looking for. So, I'm looking for the answer to A201, which should be A201. Here's the VLOOKUP function, and let's just have a quick look into it. What you're saying is, it's asking for the lookup value. So, you're saying look up the number A201. Where must I look it up? In this table here. And what is must it pull through when it finds it, and that's the second column. However, this is a vital entry by either putting in true or false here. You can tell Excel whether it must find an exact match, so it must find A201 or an approximate match. So, if you put in false, you'd find an exact match. If you put in true, it will find an approximate match. So, it goes down here and finds an exact match. If there's not an exact match, it would give you an error message. Now, the reason that this happens in Excel and this error can occur because the way Excel sorts alphanumeric keys is slightly different the way a human would. My recommendation for this is that where at all possible avoid the approximate criteria unless you definitely know you want an approximate match, which means that you must not omit the formula here. You must type the false, and if the number does not exist, it will then point out an error to you and you are more likely to find it. However, for whatever reason, Excel has also said that if you omit it totally, it is going to find an approximate match, and that is where one of the problems comes in. What you have here is that you've asked for A201 and yet is pulling to A10. Now, that same situation happens if you include the criteria true at the end. It is only sorted out when you include false, and that is because you've told Excel look for A201 but only find an exact match.
The EU-month functions are useful functions within Excel that help you deal with dates. EU-month, which means end of month, generates the date of the last date of the required month based on an input start date. In this segment, you will learn how to find, activate, and use these functions. However, it is very important to point out that these functions are only available when you have your analysis toolpack loaded. If you would like the forecast dates to make reference to the start date, but to show the date at the end of the month, you should rather make use of the EU month feature. In order to activate it, click on the cell where you want the formula. Activate the function wizard. Go to the date and time section and you find the EU month formula. Click on it and press OK. The first option is to give it the start date or the reference date. In this case, this cell here. Second option asks you how many months before or after the start date should this date be, and we are going to click on our cell here. And because we want it to consistently reference between the cells, we need to make it absolute referencing. When you click OK, what you'll get is the end of the next month. And we can now copy and pass this along. And you'll see that each cell represents the end of the next month. What you have now is automatically generated dates. So what you can do is come to this cell, and let's say we want to make it quarterly. We put a 3 in there. You'll see this change to the end of the month in 3 months' time. And you can even go semi-annual, or alternatively, you can go backwards by putting a negative number in. And that's all.